Hello everyone, Agent Fluffy here, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, Trials and Tribulations, Recipe for Turnabout, Part 8. Now, we're cross-examining, well, Gumshoe, and let's press here. Scary old man, Detective Gumshoe?
There's an old man who was a regular at the restaurant where the incident happened.
Ah, we're obviously talking about the same old man.
Officers were dispatched right after the report came in, but the old guy still made a fuss. What took you so long? And he hurled abuse at them, and seeds.
Seeds. Huh, it was nothing. I caught each one with my teeth. That's talent. I guess not even the mighty Godot can be avoided. I guess not even the mighty Godot can avoid being attacked by that guy. The old man was the only other customer in the place at the time. He took his time finding the payphone apparently, so he was late reporting the crime. I had to turn my gain up to just a bit.
Poor Maggie had passed out from the shock. It must be real tough for her.
How long was the defendant unconscious for?
The officers got to the crime scene at around 2:40. Maggie was still out cold in the kitchen at that time. It took another 10 minutes or so before she came to. I would have liked to have been on the scene myself.
I bet you would have liked to have carried out the search, too.
I would have loved to see Maggie asleep like that, all pretty and peaceful.
Gumshoe. I know you have feelings for her. I fucking know.
You're a professional detective, Gumshoe, not a professional bird watcher.
Exactly. Save the romantics for your own time, detective. Exactly. All we need to know about is the investigation.
Oops, I guess I'm pretty red right now, aren't I?
Yes, you are. He didn't have any? Are you saying that it was stolen then?
No, I don't think so. The victim didn't have a driver's license or even a credit card on him, pal. All he had was 58 cents in his wallet.
58 cents?
Yeah, I can't believe I found someone with less in their wallet than me, pal.
The victim sounds like he was a thoroughly miserable young man.
Or some kind of outlaw. Why not give him a bit of an edge? I think I'm onto something here. Ooh, let's press this one.
Wait a sec. Huh? Did you say something dumb again?
Let me paraphrase what you just testified to this court. The victim didn't have any form of ID on him. That's basically what you said, yes?
Yeah, basically.
In that case, how were you able to identify the victim so quickly?
Oh, that.
He's so let down. He's got the whole sagging shoulders and puppy eyes thing going.
There was a prescription bag on the victim's table along with a lottery ticket.
It seems Mr. Glenn Oak visited his doctor before he went to Tribion.
We got the victim's name from the medical records of the doc who prescribed the meds.
That's a reliable enough source for the court.
What should I do? Should I leave this alone or ask to hear more? Let's ask about the prescription bag because I'm curious. So, what sort of medicine was in the bag?
Well, actually, the bag we found was empty.
What? Really?
Huh? Yeah, completely empty.
It was completely empty? Okay, the victim got this from the doctor before going to Tribion. The bag is empty.
Ha!
You're entering an empty paper bag as evidence. Desperate, are you, Wright? Now, what happened with the investigation after that, detective? Let's see. But the defendant had been passed out for a while, correct? In that case, isn't it possible someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket?
Hey, yeah, you nailed it, pal. It happened to me all the time. We had a department party the other day, and when I got home, I was wearing the boss's shoes.
Objection!
Keep up this crazy testimony, detective, and those shoes will end up down your throat.
Oh, no!
Oh, God, no. Oh. Sorry.
So, Wright, someone planted the evidence in Maggie's pocket? That's a pretty bold statement. Care to back it up with some evidence? Well, I'd love to, if I had any.
It appears you have no evidence to support your theory, Mr. Wright. Continue with your testimony, witness.
So a $500,000 lottery ticket and the bottle of poison were accounted for. Yeah. Interesting. It's true that those two items are accounted for. But wasn't there another lottery ticket that was stolen that day?
Oh, yeah! The one the restaurant owner took. He won a whole $1 with it. What a lucky guy, huh?
And they're just going to let him get away with it?
It's just $1, detective.
I guess no one cares when it's that little, except for Gumshoe. If I don't find a hole in this testimony, the judge is going to hand down his verdict. Gumshoe isn't giving us anything to work with. We can't find any contradictions if he doesn't give us something. Yeah, that's true. But Maggie and Gumshoe are like Dumb and Dumber. Our only hope is that they were so dumb they missed something obvious.
Come on, Gumshoe, be the dumbest you ever been!
So, I just realized that there was nothing else in... It was like nothing else in the crime scene. Huh? Nothing missing. Eh? So, what he's gonna present... Victim got this from the doctor before going to Trivium. Bag is empty. No medicine in there. Detective Gumshoe, I think I should point something out to you. There's just one small contradiction in your testimony.
Oh, finally! I'm getting all anxious just waiting, so hurry up, will you?
You testified that nothing else was missing from the crime scene. However, the prescription bag you mentioned was empty. Did the officers recover the medicine from the scene of the crime later? No, they didn't. The victim was given a prescription right before going to Trebion. Where, then, did the medicine disappear to?
You are too cool, pal!
Terry! Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription. Due consideration wasn't given to the Can I fucking read? Due consideration wasn't given to the victim's prescription in the previous trial. Witness, why do you always overlook such vital pieces of evidence?
I guess that's the most careless deed I've done so far, huh?
The victim was killed by poison, and the victim's medicine mysteriously disappeared. The victim's own prescription could have been the lethal poison itself.
Honor! Well, Mr. Godot, what do you have to say to that?
Ha, that's all. What? Read for the court the name of the clinic on the prescription bag, if you will. What's the clinic's name got to do with anything? New Ear Ortal... let's see. Let's see. Let me see if I can read this. New Ear Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological Clinic. Otolaryngological? I don't know if I don't know if I butchered it or anything like that. Just let me know down in the comments. how to pronounce it, or if I pronounce it correctly.
Just what kind of illness was the victim suffering from, Mr. Godot?
Hardly an illness, Your Honor. More like a bitter war wound, you could say.
A war wound?
The day before the incident, Mr. Elg found himself in a fight. He took a blow to the side of the head and ruptured his eardrum. Oh, ouch. Oh, that is painful. Oh, God. He ruptured his eardrum?
Then what on earth was the prescription he was given?
It was a cream that was to be applied topically inside his ear canal, not to be ingested. What? It's mentioned in the autopsy report if you read the fine print, okay? Died of potassium cyanide poisoning. Time of death was between 1:30 and 2:30 p.m. Okay. They found traces of the medication in the victim's left ear.
Yes, here it is. In very, very fine print.
It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trebion. Therefore, it would be absurd to believe he would have eaten his medication.
Ugh. It seems that this medication is irrelevant to the case after all.
No.
Nick! If you don't think of something quick, it'll all be over!
She's right. I can't get away with any old weak objection. What should I do? Well, let's push the medication issue. I'm not gonna let this go. Only moments ago, Mr. Godot made the following statement. It seems Mr. L correctly applied some of his medication while he was at Trebion. If that's the case, then why was the medication not found at the scene of the crime?
But the medication in question was for topical use inside the ear canal.
That doesn't change the fact that it could not be found at the crime scene. However insignificant it may seem, it's a lawyer's duty to pursue the truth.
Objection!
You know as well as I do that the medication is irrelevant. It hardly seems likely that a prescription drug would contain potassium cyanide. It hardly seems likely that the coffee the waitress served would contain it either. But it did! The possibility is undeniable! Ugh.
That's enough! Mr. Godot, is the detective the only witness the prosecution wishes to call? Mr. Godot?
I got my own witness I'd like to call, sir. It's the old man who was there at the restaurant on the day of the murder.
Victor Kudo? The Pigeonator?
Very well. The matter of the disappearing medication seems little more than trivial at best. However, it wasn't explored at all in the previous trial, and that is something that bothers me.
Yay! Good job, Nick!
After which we'll hear the prosecution's next witness.
Huh. I suppose this means I'll just have to finish you off in my last 6 cups.
Court's adjourned for recess.
Let's see. January 7th, 11:03 a.m., District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 1.
Whew! That was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir! No, it's my line! I think I really did die a little bit.
Looks like we all nearly died in there.
I can't believe Detective Gumshoe! How can he betray us like that?
Huh?
He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up!
I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy! I don't ever want to see him again!
Poor Gumshoe.
So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right?
Yeah, Mr. Kudo. Lover and waitress outfits and projectile scenes. I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know?
Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even though it's never ending bird seeds. January 7th, 11:15 a.m., District Court, courtroom number 4. I was about to say court record, but it's not in there.
Court now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Cadeau, next witness, please.
The prosecution calls a lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind.
The name is Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what makes me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too.
We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? Listen, youngin, how much car do you think there is for kimono embroidery here?
Kimono embroidery?
That's what I do, ordained back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, real craftsmen. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you can embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
Damn. That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
Now then, witness, were you in a restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh, yes. I was eating some seeds over a cup of cappuccino. Seeds? What do you think these are,
I see.
So you saw everything that happened, Gramps?
Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all.
Then please tell the court. We're all ears.
Sure. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this. Witness testimony, what I witnessed.
The young man was reading the sports paper. The serving girl brought him a cappuccino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the serving girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
Mr. Kudo, she's not a serving girl. Please refer to her as a waitress.
You're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones?
Newfangled?
All this talk of radios and glasses is wireless and spectacles, I tell you.
Excuse me?
Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget your own values. Don't let the good old days slip away.
Well, I think it's time to begin a cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Let's see here. So you saw the victim then? You saw Mr. Glenelg?
I wanted to know if Goodson Braun retained his championship or not.
So he was looking at the sports paper the victim was reading, huh? And at the location in question, there are partitions between tables on the same side of the restaurant, right?
So what if there are?
If you say that you could see the victim, that means you were sitting at the table on the other side of the restaurant, correct?
I go to that place to drink cappuccino. I don't go to sit. I don't remember which table I was sitting at.
You mean you go there to eye the waitress? Uh-huh, sure. Sure, dude. Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw?
Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I.
I see.
My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I would need spectacles for reading and driving.
I bet his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress.
And I saw what the serving girl put into the Javachino as well.
I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not going to like it. Let's leave it. It'd be dangerous to press this too much. I better ignore it for now. So, what happened next? I pressed save your statement, though. He took just one sip.
You youngins, you waste everything. Those Javachinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop, eaten the cup, and then died.
That's fucked up. Congratulations! You have earned the title of Battiest Man to Grace a Courtroom. So it was immediate death? Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible.
Oh, yes! He slumped over without so much as a twitch. I felt the Javachino I just drank turn sour in my stomach.
Oh, yes, I know that feeling.
And the waitress? I presume she is.
Yeah. Let's press it. You said, I remember her well in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by?
Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to you know.
I frickin' know.
She's practically naked in that uniform.
So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit?
But anyone could wear such uniform, even me. Mr. Wright, please spare the court of any further mental anguish for that image.
Don't get all excited, Nick. You gotta keep yourself together. I guess I got a bit carried away.
Heh, there are things I recognize about her, too.
Seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Let's press harder. Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not. That's very true.
Quite right.
Exactly.
Mr. Kudo, these other features you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair and her apron straps were loose.
So, you do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all, her face?
Heh, as if I wouldn't remember that.
The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He is unlikely to make a mistake about her face.
That's right. I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red.
So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling of something more to this somehow. Well, let's ask about the waitress's back. The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back. Yes! Right there!
So what?
Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
Ha! He's got you there, Gramps. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
This is harassment! I'm telling you not obsessed with straps or ribbons! I'm just telling you what I saw! Mr. Kudo, the court requests you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, your testimony. Sure.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet.
There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front.
Okay. You think you could explain the apron? Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this.
That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like, just after he's done eating.
Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't! You think I forget something as dirty as that? Well, you half-witted clot! What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means, if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know where I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front.
Oops.
Witness! You can't just oops your way out of this.
Ha! Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Wright, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant.
That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird?
Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison in the coffee cup, this old guy was watching!
I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing.
Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin is in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion where I forgot a burger a customer wanted.
Can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well. Let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
Witness testimony about the victim.
He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand and a noisy brat kept rustling his... He had a newspaper in his right hand and the noisy brat kept rustling his pages. The young man was listening through wireless. I remember that well. Then the serving girl in question brought over the Javagino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip.
The testimony we just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. It seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail.
Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but it was what I do best. Let's see. About the victim. Alright, so I'm gonna stop right here. So, this has been Agent Fluffy, and we're gonna continue cross-examining Victor Kudo later. So, this has been Agent Fluffy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye! Hey everyone, Agent Fluffy here, and thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. If you want to support me even more, feel free to support my Patreon. The links are right here.